235-HOPE, 235-4673.
Man, I only do things incredible can, cause I am seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good morning, Kevin Hastings, along with Hunter Yancey, Terry Reinhardt, and good morning to everybody. It's Saturday morning, and you know what, Terry? It didn't matter if you hit that red button. You're still missing a piece. So I'm gonna Hunter, come in here and grab this for real quick, and he'll know exactly. I've got them. They can sit there and talk all they want to, but I've got them knocked out right now. Hold on one second, Hunter. In the floor in there, you'll see there's two pieces right with Terry's feet. So I got him unhooked in there for a second. Good morning, everybody. We got all kinds of things to talk about. Yeah, I've been so busy. Terry's bragging about he's been up with the chickens at 4 a.m. I was up about 5 to get ready for graduation day for a lot of schools around here. I know it is up at your school, Terry, right? You can't say nothing. I can't even check with you right now. Let's see, Terry. Now try.
Am I
there you go.
Listen.
Terry, how's it? You got graduation at West Lincoln today, don't you?
You do. A lot of schools had it last night or today. Congratulations to all the seniors. I know through this part of your 12 or 13 years or 14 or 15, however long it's taken you to get through this, but you've probably said a million times, I'm going to quit. I just don't know whether I could do this anymore, but congratulations today as you go across and get your diploma and go into the real world, of what we have to see every day now. But again, congratulations, seniors.
Oh, I thought I heard something down. I thought Hunter's mic went out for a second. That was Dad talking down the hall. He echoed in my ear behind me, and so anyway, he's going to be out and about today over at Mountain View Farms today. So check him and Perk out today. Look at that pink Cadillac and the gang today for their broadcast. Now we've got some special broadcasts this morning, Terry, and that's one of the reasons I've been up so early. Is yesterday I spent all day in the rain driving around to 4 Cleveland County schools preparing for graduation indoors.
Yep, a lot of them are doing that. West Lincoln's the same.
And then I got a call this morning and said 2 of the schools have changed to outdoors.
Ooh.
And so we've had some complications with that, and we're going to get out on Twitter and Facebook in a minute because with some logistics concerns. So the Kings Mountain broadcast will not be an actual broadcast. We're going to record it, and then we'll post it on YouTube. You can watch it after the broadcast, and then so you folks can watch that. So that will not be live. The Kings Mountain will not be live. However, Crest and Burns should be live. I'm gonna say should be live. So I've been assured by the county that they do have working internet access out there. And we think we'll have live coverage at those 2 for you Burns and Crest folks. You'll be having live coverage of yours on YouTube, on your football channel, your YouTube football channel, KTC Broadcasting. For you folks that you go and watch our football games, just go to their channels, or you can just search on YouTube, type in 2019 Burns or 2019 Crest graduation. And like I said, Kings Mountain we're going to post after, folks. So after the broadcast for Kings Mountain, or after graduation for them. The schools are scrambling around, Terry, to get outside. Did you guys stay inside?
I'm pretty sure they stayed inside.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not going to rain.
It's not supposed to. What we were told till about 11ish. So they threw a big wrench in everybody's plans this week, especially the way it rained yesterday, right?
Yes. And then when it rained, it poured. Yeah.
Well, I was talking to someone who hadn't seen the weather report. And they were like, so how long is it supposed to rain? I said, next Friday. And it was raining really hard at that point. So, I don't know how we're going to take all this rain here in the next few days. It's like a hurricane's coming through with all the rain we're about to to get here the next few days. What they're telling us, right?
Well, I mean, we're above average already, and then we went through a little dry spell, and I even had a lot of people's yards who were like little cracks in them, and I said, yeah, but deep down in there, buddy, there's some moisture. So this will fill it back up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Terry will help out your confidence if you want him to come over and talk to you about your yard.
That's exactly right.
All right, Terry, we got all kinds of things to talk about today. We got Major League Baseball. We've got NFL. We've got hockey. No, we don't have hockey, do we? We've got a little NBA playoff action, like the thing they call the finals. If you guys stayed up last night, Terry, you said you were up early. Did you stay up all night?
I watched all the way to
check
the
it
end.
out. All right, we just wanted to make
did.
sure. We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit.
11:49 or something like that when it finally went.
Oh, yeah, it was late. It was late.
Yes,
they give us that 9 o'clock start time.
Yeah.
Well, there was a big discussion about that, about the East Coast, West Coast start times. Adam Silver came out and discussed that. Terry, because LeBron is now on the West Coast, and the West Team Warriors are on the West Coast, and Adam Silver's admitting that's probably affecting some ratings, especially out on the East Coast. People that do have to get up and go to work.
Yeah, I mean, what should they do though? I mean, really, if you're out in the West Coast and you got an early game out east, think of how early that starts out there. I mean, do people get off work and go watch a 1 o'clock game?
I was about to say that's how it would be for most of the people for when the NFL starts around.
Yeah.
A lot of them are 1 o'clock start times, and for them that's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Some of them
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
almost 10 o'clock.
Depends on where you at.
Yeah, it is. They do have a problem or issue maybe with that, with LeBron and the Warriors being out there, and what a lot of people do think a lot of the talent is out there on the West Coast. So you don't know how good these teams are, or a lot of people don't that haven't seen them before. And I'm, to be fair, I'm looking at the finals. I'm sure there's a lot of people that haven't watched the team from Canada either this year on the national TV and in other places and everything, or looked it up on the NBA channel, unless you're probably from Canada or a Raptors fan or somewhat of that nature. Just a thing to think about. I've always wondered why the college championships are on Mondays when they know they have school on Mondays, and they play the football games on Saturdays and basketball's on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Like, why is the championship not on Saturday, Terry, where you don't have to worry about missing class and stuff like that?
Well, that's kind of hard for me to understand or explain to, I guess. I mean, how many people watch the national championship in football on a Monday and then do not go to work on a Tuesday? I guarantee some people that's in their criteria.
I know a bunch of people across the state of North Carolina when the Tar Heels won the championship when I was in college that did not go to class the next day, or was able to go to class.
That was the big knock on this past college football championship against Alabama and Clemson. Nobody watched it, and nobody went to the game because you had two southeastern teams that were playing in California on the West Coast. Nobody went to the game because you were asking two teams, fan bases, in South Carolina and in Alabama to travel to California and then come back that night for work the next day. So nobody's going to go to the game. It would have made sense for them to have put that in Atlanta because it's kind of in between both of them, or maybe someplace in Florida. But, they don't, of course, they can't predict who's going to be there next year. So that obviously doesn't work out that way. But the same thing is like, you don't want to watch it. It's weird because nobody in California cares about either one of those teams, so they weren't going to go to the game. So there was that was one of the things that was big as well.
Think of this. Now we're talking money.
Yeah.
We wait until these two teams that we get all the way to your finals of who's going to play, and then we give them 2 or 3 weeks to each city make a bid. Yeah, to hold this thing, and then that's where they come. Ooh.
I mean, I don't see a bad idea about it. I don't, because college football is so dominant in the South and really on the eastern part of the United States, where they're always at least in the Final Four. Or think about it. One year we had Georgia, Clemson, and Alabama, and the outlier was Oklahoma. All of them were East Coast, and it ended up being played on the East Coast. So that was demographically worked out perfect. But for Clemson and Alabama to both travel across country, hardly any of their fans travel. You're almost playing in an empty stadium for a national championship game. That just doesn't make sense.
How would you do a college basketball game if it come and all of a sudden your two teams that are in the finals, or I'm just going to throw two teams out there. Let's say it's Louisville against North Carolina or Duke, either one, and everybody bids on that, and you had to pick one place. Where could you pick a place? I mean, inside a dome, you'd have to build it up. I mean, or would you?
I thought you were talking about basketball. I was going to say, if it's basketball, it already is a dome.
Yeah.
So for that, it's just it would come down to either Charlotte, but that would almost be too much of a home game if it was for North Carolina versus Louisville.
But you wouldn't be able to. But so many fans get in there.
Yeah.
So you'd have to hunt.
Well, it would have to be. It would have to be an NBA stadium, or it would have to be like they have gone now, football stadiums that they just build the hardwood on there. So it couldn't be Panther Stadium because there's still not a dome.
Nope.
You would have to go to Georgia, which that's where if I'm not mistaken, that's where the next. It was just held in Minneapolis, up there at the Vikings. Next year for college basketball, it's being held at the Superdome or the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. So that, I mean, it would fit that way, but like we were getting at, if it was Oregon to get in against like a North Carolina or one of the ACC schools predominantly on the East Coast, and they were holding it in Atlanta, there's no way in Oregon, and like Kevin said, they would hold the game on a Monday night. Why would somebody from Oregon fly all the way out to Atlanta to watch a late game for East Coast time? For them to, it's easier to go back west though, because you gain hours. But even still, the fact that you would have to fly there, then fly back to make it back for work on a Tuesday, you're not going to have any Oregon fans. It's basically going to be an ACC or whatever East Coast team has made it home game. Yeah. That's what hurt when me and Carson went to Atlanta. If you and that's what they said about the Super Bowl. It was on the East Coast. It was in Atlanta. It was more like a Patriots home game because there were more Patriots fans there than Rams fans because nobody from the Los Angeles wanted to fly out to Atlanta. So yeah, I don't know how to fix that for some people, for some teams, especially the West Coast teams obviously hurt more than the East Coast teams because there are more East Coast teams and their larger demographic is the East Coast than it is the West. So
we're going to have to change the time zones, Terry. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, you probably could.
Well, if we go two time zones, east of the Mississippi and west of the Mississippi.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like last night's game. I mean, I'm quite sure there's a lot of people who stayed up and watched it on account of today's Saturday.
Yeah, I stayed up and watched it.
But if it had been like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, there'd have been a lot of people maybe turned it off after the third quarter or something.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We come back, we're going to talk some baseball. We've got to talk some high school baseball. We've got NBA finals to get into and break down. We've got to go get set up for a minute and make sure all the graduations are getting ready and going. Like I said, coming up shortly, Crest and Burns should be live graduations, we think, as long as everything we said we think. Well, Burns will be. I'm pretty 99.9% sure about that. Chris, we've got some logistics moving over to the stadium. They moved to the stadium. Burns stayed inside the gym, so Burns is staying inside from what I've been told. They're going to the stadium at Crest. They're going to the stadium at Kings Mountain. So those were previously had been planned to be inside. Now they've been moved back outside. So Crest and Kings Mountain folks, you can get back out there. They're supposed to start at 9. Kings Mountain will not be live. For Kings Mountain because of logistics, because of the move to the stadium. We would have had it live inside the auditorium, but with all the seating and then the internet situation over there, we couldn't get it going out at Kings Mountain. So, Terry, what's up?
That's a big thing here because if you was going to have it inside, there's so many tickets that you can allow for people to get in. Against fire marshal overloading. But
I've heard the numbers in these situations at these schools anywhere from inside you can get 2 to 3 in these situations, and they're doing overflows in broadcasting to some of the classrooms if people are coming in that don't for the tickets or whatever. And then you also, but if you go to the stadium, I've heard some of them you get up to 12.
Yeah, you get almost as many as you want to come.
So they'd much rather have it in stadiums, but we'll see from what's going on from that. But we will have broadcast of Crest and Burns coming up shortly on YouTube, folks. Just go to their football YouTube channels. We'll have that. Like I said, Kings Mountain will have that posted up on YouTube and Facebook later on this afternoon. We're going to be back after a short break on KTC Broadcasting. We've got NBA Finals, Major League Baseball, State Championship Baseball here in KTC land on KTC Broadcast. We'll be right back.
Come out and visit Mountain View Farm Event Barn this Saturday, June 8th, during their second anniversary celebration and live radio remote broadcast. I'm Calvin Hastings, and I would invite you to join the boss this Saturday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Mountain View Farm, located at 1409 West Stagecoach Trail, halfway between Lawndale and Polkville. We'll be there with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including American Legion Baseball World Series tickets, 2 free nights lodging at the Red Roof Inn anywhere in the USA. Mountain View Farm Event Barn is a newly restored 1950s barn and reception pavilion, nestled in the quiet country atmosphere of Upper Cleveland County, just 25 minutes northwest of Shelby. They are the recipient of Cleveland County's Best of the Best wedding venue for 2018, offering options for weddings and other events inside the barn as well as on the lawn. So we invite all brides-to-be and their friends and families to drop by this Saturday, June 8th. Sit on the deck, relax, enjoy the company and the music. More than 20 vendors will be present to assist you with your event planning. It'll be fun time at Mountain View Farm Event Barn this Saturday, June 8th, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m.
On July 6th, gather your family and friends for summer's biggest celebration, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Experience a weekend of excitement with racing under the lights and celebrate Independence Day with patriotic tributes and the region's largest fireworks display over the infield at Daytona. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 will be a celebration to remember. Adult tickets start at $49, kids $20. Lock in your seats at 1-800-PIT-SHOP or DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Stay tuned to the boss in Carolina Country for a chance to win free ticket. Dwight Fowler at Renato Automall in Shelby says no bull. That's right, you get no bull at Renato Automall. Just good old down-home pricing, and that's no bull. Whether you're shopping for a new Kia, Honda, Buick, or GMC, you get great deals, great financing, and great service. So hurry on in now during the No Bull Sale event at Renato Kia, Renato Honda, Renato Buick GMC, all at Renato Automall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina.
Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville is there for you in your time of need. They're a progressive and comprehensive funeral service provider, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Funeral directors John Porter, Scott, and Hannah Garrett are there to help you and give you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. For more information, call 704-435-6711. Located at 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville and online at carpentersfuneralhome.net, a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
Every day is a special day at Whiskey Mill Bar and Grill in Bessemer City. On Monday, it's boneless wings, 65 cents each. Tuesday, BLT and chips, $3.99. Wednesday, jumbo wings, 75 cents. Thursday, chicken filet sandwich, $3. And on Sunday, jumbo wings for 75 cents. Plus, every day, including Friday and Saturday, get natural lights for $1 and select drinks for $2.75. Whiskey Mill Bar and Grill, 201 West East Pennsylvania Avenue in Bessemer City. Check out the daily specials on Facebook.
Good morning. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Kevin Hastings, Hunter Yancey, Terry Reinhardt working on our breakfast from Mitchem's Kitchen. Terry, Hunter, I think Hunter's done already. Hunter, how was your biscuit this morning.
I am not finished, but it is good so far. Sausage and egg.
And I got gravy biscuit with a side piece of bologna.
And I had chicken and egg and cheese on the biscuit.
Mm.
I love it good. We're all struggling to get our mouth cleared of the biscuit so we can talk right, Terry? There's some good food up at Mitchem's Kitchen.
That is it every time. I mean, go up, see Carol and Robin, 704-276-1155. Mitchem's Kitchen's open on Sundays from 7 until 2 o'clock. So if you need any kind of breakfast throughout the week, even on Sunday, you'll get your lunch. Either to go in and eat or take it home with you.
Well, when we're feeling groggy and thinking about, it's a struggle on Saturday morning getting in the show. Them biscuits make you feel all better as soon as you get in here, don't they? Get you going. Guys, we got some hot dogs giving out this here in a little bit. Mountain View Farms, Calvin and the gang. We're going to Terry get on into some baseball real quick, and I'm going to go get the graduation set up. As Terry and Hunter's going to go over some standings, we're going to talk some North Lincoln baseball in just a few minutes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start this
Don't
out.
trash my Cardinals too much while I'm down the hall, dude.
I'm not. I'm trashing my Kansas City Royals. It's like this.
Yeah.
If we want to be last, let's be last.
Right.
We finally caught Baltimore
yesterday,
and then last night we win and they lose, and they back ahead of us again. Now, come on. If we're going to throw the season, let's go ahead and do it and lose every game.
So you're essentially saying if we're going to tank, let us tank.
Might as well.
You don't want to use the term, but you might as well.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, send some rookies out there to pitch or something. Some guys who, I know they're looking at their career and earnings and stuff like that. Get some people. I mean, heck, send me to Kansas City. Let me play for a while for I don't know, $750,000. I can go up there and strike out.
That's exactly right. if that's what you want me to do, you pay me. Say, hey, watch every pitch. I'll watch every pitch.
That's it. If
just tell me.
Throw, then I'm gonna walk.
Yeah.
But
I know what you're saying, because if you know that you're not in contention, why would you not see what you have in your young players? Why don't you let them go out there, get it under their belt, have them learn the game a little bit more on this level, because some people say that it is quite a jump from the minors if you're not prepared to the majors. That's why some of them flop. That's why some of them take 7-8 years in the minors before they're ready for their major league debut. So it's not just easy to walk out there and hit a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. They're all throwing that these days. Half the time, if you aren't throwing that, they're about ready to send you down.
Yeah, and Hunter, you know as well as I do, Baltimore and Kansas City probably going to get to 50 losses before we hit July the 4th. So,
if Baltimore's got 6 games in the next 10 days, they're more than likely going to lose half of them. So there's another 3 losses there. So they'll be 3 away from 50.
And I think Kansas City went like 2-8 over their last 10, maybe. If we've done that.
See, I don't know. I guess, do these teams just not have good farm systems?
No, we got good farm systems. We picked up Bobby Witt, which is going to take him time to come through the system and all. But when you're, to me, your quarterback, Perez, is out for us for the whole year, and he'll be back next year. I mean, you're switching up. And then we had so many guys that Kansas City cannot afford to be on the same payroll with everybody else, knowing that there was no way we was keeping Hosmer, no way we was keeping Kane. I mean, somebody else is going to give him a lot of money. We gave a lot of money to Gordon.
Well, that's good, for Kansas City, but in Baltimore's case, Baltimore's been the laughing joke, besides the Miami Marlins, has been a laughing joke. Are they still Miami, or are they Florida Marlins? No, they're Miami now. Yes. They used to be the Florida Marlins. Yes. That's right. I don't know why I had a brain fart right there, but I did. But you see what I'm getting at. It's been like Miami and Baltimore the past 2 to 3, maybe even longer for Baltimore. They just can't seem to get it done. There was a time, short period, Baltimore was fighting with New York for that American League East right there. It was very short, and then all of a sudden Baltimore went back to what they used to be, in the tank.
Yeah.
And they just can't seem to climb out. I know they've gotten rid of their manager, and it looks like you would think they would clean house of players. You'd think they'd clean house and try and bring in young studs, maybe even sign it, maybe even make some trades. They haven't. And I don't know if it's because they've just accepted what they are right now and say, well, maybe we can get through another draft, maybe we can get that one guy that's coming out. If he doesn't, as we've seen happen, go play overseas. That's going to be a new thing.
Yeah.
But even then, when you draft him, you're not playing him right now. He's going to be in your minor league system for maybe 3 or 4 years, depending on how good he is. He might only be there for a short amount of time. I don't know. It's just the Orioles and the Marlins, even though the Marlins are doing a little bit better right now than the Orioles, do you understand what they're trying to do up there in Baltimore, or are they just treading water right now, trying to at least stay relevant?
Well, I mean, Baltimore's got a good fan base.
Yes.
I mean, I know people that's around here that are Baltimore Orioles
I know
fans.
people from my area are big Baltimore Orioles fans because that's where Hunter Harvey was drafted.
Yep.
He graduated the year before me at Bandy's. So I know a lot of them are pulling for him. Unfortunately, injuries have just, they've taken a toll on his minor league progression. But you're right. They're Orioles fans, and they cannot be happy with how little success the team has had for a long time. Like, this is going on for an extended amount of years. It's not just, we had a down year last year. It's like, you've never seen the light to go up. You've just stayed at the bottom for about 4 or 5 years now.
Well, I know a friend of mine, Rick Mitchem, me and him get into it all the time because we're both on the bottom. He's a Baltimore fan. I'm Kansas City.
Yeah.
And we both sat there, so he's going to get to 50 losses first.
Yeah.
Our bet is on that.
Yeah, I was saying, it's not a race to 50 wins, it's a race to 50 losses. And whew.
But anyway, Kansas City 8-23 on the road, so that's a big thing with us. We can not even play at home 12-20.
Baltimore 8-23 at home.
Yeah,
they can't even win at home. So I'll just go over quick standings here for the East. Speaking of Baltimore, American League East is led by the Yankees 39-23, followed up by the Tampa Bay Rays 38-23, the Boston Red Sox 33-30, the Toronto Blue Jays 23-40. And the Baltimore Orioles 19-44.
Thinking of that division, Boston's bad start at the year has kept them. I think they might have closed within 5, maybe at one time, maybe 4.
Yes.
But 33-30 on the year, they've rebounded. But I mean, are they too far back? Are there 2 teams ahead of them? And Tampa Bay, I mean, name me some stars on that team for them to only be a half a game back of the Yankees.
Well, if you're going to say name stars compared to what the Yankees have, I'll never be able to, because the Yankees are star-studded. They win through payments. That's what everybody said. They bought every championship they've got. So I can't really give you big star names, but the Yankees have been playing very well, even without Aaron Judge for an extended period of time. I know he was on the IR. Young Carlos Stanton was on the IR, so their 2 big slug hitters have been hurt. They've just played really well. Here's the thing, though, Terry. For as successful as the Tampa Bay Rays are, I threw a slight jab at them. It wasn't a jab. It was more me of making a joke of the situation while we were at the state championship game last Saturday. I said there are more people here than at a Tampa Bay Rays game.
Well,
Did you see the picture that went around and the stat? They pulled only 5,000 people into one game.
Miami's the same way.
I don't like. Is there just too much to do in the area that no one wants to go and watch a baseball game? Because I understand with the Marlins, a lot of people want to go and see winning baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays are in second in the East, 38-23. They're decent at home. They're over 500 at home. Definitely good on the road. You only pull 5,000 fans.
You have to think of it like this: do I want to go to the beach?
Yeah.
And lay out on the beach, or do I want to go inside either a dome or they got an open face dome that they can, but and sit in 98-degree weather and watch a baseball game.
Yeah, but most of the time they keep the dome closed, so it's comfortable in there. It's comfortable, but then you also got to think that stadium probably is not like how Mercedes-Benz Stadium does it. They pride themselves on reasonably priced food as well. So I understand what you're saying. More people would want to go pack their own lunch and go to the beach, go and play, have a good time, than go to the baseball game and pay all that money. I saw somebody said I wouldn't be surprised if, because Charlotte is up for, they've been in talks about a possible major league expansion team. Well, I don't know if they'll do an expansion team or if they would just pull Tampa Bay out and say, you're now the Charlotte Rays, and come down here and play in BB&T.
Would they be successful in Charlotte?
If they
Well,
keep,
they could
if
get
they, I was about to
5,000
say, I
people.
was gonna say they can get 5,000 people easily. That's what the Knights
There
will
you go.
prove for a AAA game,
Yeah.
and they're a successful ball team. They can still stay in the AL American League East because it's on the East Coast. I think it's a perfect idea. Let's look at the standings in the Central for the American League. The Twins lead at 42-20,
Running away.
followed by the Indians 32-31. Then the Chicago White Sox 29-33. The Detroit Tigers 23-37, and your Kansas City Royals round that up 20-43. So it looks like that's the Twins' division to lose.
It is. I mean, they got out to a great start, and they keep increasing. I mean, they might not increase it by much, but every weekend that we come in here, they was up by 7. Next week, they're up by 8. I mean, about a game a week, they keep expanding.
My team to win it all, but I'm not certain about that anymore. The Houston Astros lead the AL West, 44 wins to 21 losses. They're followed by the other team in Texas, the Texas Rangers, 32-29. Then the Oakland Athletics, 32-31. The Los Angeles Angels, 30-34, and the Seattle Mariners round that out, 27-40. And
What about Seattle? Got off
they
to
start
a
off
good
to a
start.
hot start.
And now they're dead last.
Dead last in that division.
18 back.
Negative 63 run differential. Got to be able to score. And you got to be able to stop people from scoring, too. You can't seem to do either one. Yeah. Well, they don't have a bad amount of runs scored. They've actually tied for the most runs scored in this division. But they, like I said, you got to be able to stop them. They've let in 406 runs.
And that's the most in that division.
It is the most in that division. Most in that division, actually by a lot. Second in that division is 327, and that's by the Angels, who are second to last in front of the Mariners. Let me get to the National League East, and this is why I said I don't know if the Houston Astros will be my favorite to win it all this year. I'll get to it in a minute. We're going to start with the leader of this division, National League East, the Philadelphia Phillies, 36-27, followed by the Atlanta Braves, 34-29. That's exactly why I don't think Houston is my front runner to win anymore. It's because the Atlanta Braves signed Dallas Keuchel
Sure did.
to a year contract,
you did.
and that was one of their, I'm not going to say straight aces, but he was probably, if not their number one, their number 2 pitcher in Houston. And I think that's a great pickup for the Atlanta Braves because they're already a young, offensively talented squad. Acuna can get you something. Albies can get you on base. Acuna had a home run last night, and Freddie Freeman did as well. Dansby Swanson can hit the ball. So offensively, they're good. When me and Carson would talk about it, we always said they were pitching staff away. Well, I think his name's Soroka last night that was on the mound. He's turned out to be really good. He's been spinning the ball excellently. And then this is just another piece to the other side of the ball.
He's a veteran.
Yes.
He's been there and he's done it.
He'll teach the young guys that are on the pitching staff, tell them, he'll show them around just for the little amount of time that he is here. But even still, I think that was a great pickup by the Braves.
I agree.
The Mets, and that was the only reason that I'm wavering on the Houston Astros pick, because he could make a difference in a game in a World Series, or really in a series in general, because I think he's a really good pitcher. Really good pitcher. The New York Mets in third in the National League East, 30-33. Washington Nationals, 28-35. And the Miami Marlins, 23-38. In the National League Central, another team that has made a splash in the market for pitchers, the Chicago Cubs lead that 35-27, and I think that they could make another run towards a World Series this year. Not going to say they'll win it after signing Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah.
Craig Kimbrell was really good, and the speculation was that the Atlanta Braves would try and get him. Well, they went a different direction. Instead of getting someone who's known for being a relief/closer, they went out and got a good starting pitcher in Dallas Keuchel. So the Cubs making the move for Craig Kimbrell.
He will help them.
He will help them. He will help
The
them.
only thing that bothers me about him, and we always talk this on relievers, he's one of the best, but he has a problem with when he comes in, he's either going to let people get a hit off of him or he's going to walk some. He's going to put himself in tough situations sometimes.
Yes. I think that really helps out the Cubs pitching staff. Let me see. Next, after the Cubs, the Milwaukee Brewers, 36-28, and they're in second place. They're practically even with the Cubs. They're no games back. I think it's just because they might have played one extra game so far than the Cubs have. So the Cubs lead that 35-27. Milwaukee is 36-28. St. Louis Cardinals 31-30. That is Kevin's team. It's not bad.
Yeah,
One over 500, and there's still a lot of baseball to be played. Still about 100 games left in the season. 30-32 is the Pittsburgh Pirates, and rounding up the National League Central, the Cincinnati Reds 28-34.
They still have a plus on the scoring
They
side.
do. Plus 35.
And the team in front of them is a minus 73. And they are, how many games difference in between this? 2 games difference. But
Yes.
amazing. About 100 runs difference in the two teams, and Cincinnati's on bottom, Pittsburgh's in front of them.
Got close games. Whew, I don't know why I'm so yawning this morning. In the West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who some consider to possibly be the best team in baseball this year, lead the West 43-21. The Colorado Rockies follow up 33-29. San Diego Padres, I have them on my shirt this morning, 33-31. The Arizona Diamondbacks 32-32, and the San Francisco Giants. This is not precedented for the Giants, but they're in last place in the National League West, 26-36. They are 16 games behind, and they are negative 80 on run differential.
And Hunter, how you think about them now? They looking to trade Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some teams that
They're looking to trade Madison
I'm
Bumgarner.
not going to.
Yeah.
And those teams that he says I'm not going to were elite teams.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
That really got me. You know, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to here and here and here. And he named about 8 teams, and some of those are like competing for division titles.
Yeah.
And that really just stood out to me. Like he said, he did not want to play for those teams.
Nah, I guess he's got a certain area in mind he wants to stay. If I'm not mistaken, I don't understand why he wouldn't. I don't understand why he wouldn't want to play for contenders, because he's won the World Series before. Do you not want to continue to build on your resume? That would really make you start looking good when they start talking about some of the great pitchers that ever come through, because he's won it multiple times. And the Giants, not only are they looking to trade Bumgarner, the manager is retiring at the end of the year. So they're going to be looking for a new manager starting next year. The Giants, and when I say this is not precedented for the Giants, it seemed like there was a saying that every year it was an even year, the Giants had a chance to win the World Series. And it's been about the past 3 years, they've slowly started to decline from what they were as high championship caliber, always in contention with the Dodgers every year to make it, if not win, to make a wild card in the West.
And you explain to me in Major League Baseball, you know, and you're young, and you, I mean, I see it all the time, of how some teams, and I'm going to mention these teams like Tampa Bay, St. Louis Cardinals.
Right.
Seems like every year they're competing, and which I understand the Yankees and Boston and all them. It has lots of money. You know,
yes.
But I'm talking about these other teams who compete every year. They're never at the bottom, but they're not like a San Francisco that's at the top and then they fall to the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know. I cannot explain that, because what I would say about what I've noticed with the Cardinals and with the Rays and some of those teams that don't have a whole lot of money but consistently seem to have success is they're not one of those teams who lets their young talent get away. They don't let their contract run out to where someone like the Yankees they get in a bidding war with, and they lose their young talent to a team that's got all the money. I think the Braves did it. That's like the Braves right now. They've got a lot of young talent. What did they do? They signed Acuna early. They gave Albies his extension early. They caught him early. They saw what they had. They said, we want to keep them in-house for a long time. I think that's something that the Rays have been good at. I think that's something that especially the Cardinals have been good at. Teams have had to chop at the bit to get Yadier Molina at every chance that he was available, if he was ever available. And then what happened though with Pujols? Pujols became available, and he ended up going to Los Angeles. But the Cardinals have been able to keep their success. They got Carpenter as well. They've been able to hold on to him. They've always had good pitching.
And you sit back and you go to Tampa Bay, we always thought it was Madden. Hey, man, he's the one that's got down there. But then when he left, Tampa Bay's never fell off.
They haven't.
Yeah,
and if anything, Joe Madden, after making a few picks and moves, has turned the Cubs. That's a real testament to Joe Madden. But and that's why I'm saying it doesn't quite make sense why San Francisco has dropped, because they really haven't lost any great players. They still had Madison Bumgarner. They still had Buster Posey. They still had the players that they had built their core on and won championships with. So it didn't make sense that they've started to fall off, and it's not like they've gotten old. They're not old. If anything, they're just getting in their prime. So San Francisco, that's what to me is slightly an anomaly right now when it comes to what's happening in Major League Baseball. Because, like I said, there was years we would say, if it's an even year, I'm going to take the Giants to win the championship. So that is the standings in Major League Baseball as of right now. There's something we need to touch on, though, because we were unable to touch on it last Saturday. We'll touch on it now. It was the state championship game that KTC broadcasted. We were up in Greensboro. Terry, I don't know why I said Kevin, but me and Kevin, Terry, and our intern Peyton spent, I think I did the math correctly, 11 hours in Greensboro on a Saturday.
It's a good day visit.
I'm about to say, I don't think I've ever spent 11 hours in Greensboro. I think I've spent maybe 2 hours there, like maybe for a soccer tournament or something when I was playing.
Did you get a hot dog?
I did get a hot dog. This is what's so funny. They did it at UNC Greensboro, right? That was the stadium that was hosting. They hosted the 2A and the 4A championship, and they hosted the softball championships as well, but they were, of course, on the softball fields. The concession stand, everything in it was $2. Candy, $2. Drink, $2. Hot dog, $2. Popcorn, $2. It's like there was no switching up. Wow. So you walk up there, it's consistency. It's like, well, whatever I get, it's gonna be $2. So hand it over. So yes, I did have a hot dog. I think we all had a little bit of something there. But so while we were there, we watched because we came in towards the end of both of the state championship games for the 4A group. Congratulations to Mooresville. I don't know if we have any listeners in the Mooresville area, but congratulations to Mooresville. They did, in fact, sweep the team they were playing. It was a weird name. I can't remember it. It was multiple words. And anyways, congratulations to Mooresville. You did win very handily. You did. You showed you flexed your muscles out there. You won very handily. But the team that we were covering, the North Lincoln Knights.
How about that?
Big congratulations to the North Lincoln Knights. We'll get more in-depth on that here in a second. But big congratulations to Coach John Carpenter and all the seniors that were playing there. They've had a lot of success the past 3 years, slowly building upon that success. Last year they made it to the semifinals. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. This year they took that extra step. They got into uncharted territory against the team. Apparently that's a household name in the state championship in Randall. And they went out there and they swept them. They only went 2 games. So congratulations to North Lincoln Knights. First baseball state championship in school history.
And congratulations. And I'm just going to speak of one dude who really come out there and stood out. Cobb.
Yes.
What a performance he made against West Lincoln. And then he comes back.
He was the 2A MVP.
Yeah, and then he comes back against Randleman and shuts them out. Congratulations to him and all the individuals that's on that team. And Coach Carpenter, we talk about your players, but you have to perform. You have to put them in the right positions at the right time. Yeah. So, it all comes back to coaching. It all comes up to players fulfilling their dreams, and they did.
They did. They rallied as a team in the second game. At one point, I think me and Kevin were afraid this was going to get away from them in Game 2. They were down 6-2, and then they rallied back to tie it up 7-7. And then in the top of the 7th, when they were at bat, they went up 9-7. And that was all she wrote because Randleman was unable to score anything in the bottom of the 7th, and that's where they took it home. Cobb did, in fact, pitch a fantastic game. The big stud people were talking about for Randleman, Mr. Nick Neal, he had 10 home runs on the season. He was batting .330, so at 1 out of every pitch, he was hitting it. He was getting on base somehow. He was hitless all day.
And I'm going to throw something out there, and I'm going to see how people around here, especially Cleveland County, what is the best conference that we are in around this area? Is it the South Fork 2A Conference? Bringing back state championships.
Yeah.
They brought back wrestling championships. They brought back track championships. They brought back golf championships. I mean, now a baseball championship. I'm going to name 6 that the South Fork has brought back this year. Has any other conference come close to 6?
Now, I have no idea of surrounding conferences. I don't know, but the South Fork has really put on a show for their athletic department. Whatever the sport is, they've shown they can at least compete at the highest level, if not the semifinal, the championship game. They're showing that they're good enough to get there.
And that's what I was going to say, and not just the point of competing, but the point of winning it and having another team in the top 4.
Yes, because that was something that we were talking about when I was covering the Game 3 of the West Lincoln-North Lincoln game. South Fork 2A was represented heavily because you had 2 teams facing each other from the same conference in the semifinals. So either way, the conference was going to be represented in the state championship game. It just came down to which one, which shade of color, which Lincoln.
Yeah.
Which Lincoln, that's literally what it was. Which Lincoln do you want? Do you want North? Do you want West? And it seems like, and East Lincoln this year, they had a fantastic year in basketball. They made a deep run in basketball. A lot of people didn't think they would, but they made a deep run. They made a pretty decent run. All really, the top 3 teams in the South Fork for football made a deep run as well. Getting close, maybe to the semifinals or quarterfinals. So they've had a fantastic year if we want to just talk about the big 3 ball sports. But of course, like you said, golf, wrestling, there are other sports, and they're competing at the highest level.
That's what I'm saying.
So again, congratulations to the North Lincoln Knights as Kevin strolls back in.
I was going to get that in there before Kevin can walk back in. About the best conference that we've been producing around here. I mean, this year, and I'm not saying all the other conferences are great, but, when you go for state championships and all, South Fork Athletic 2A Conference brought back 6. And not necessarily 6, but had another team in the top 4.
Did you count the other ones? Did you do the research and count the other conferences, or did you just?
Well, I haven't even looked. That's what I asked. That's what I did. I asked.
Well, I mean, if anything, it doesn't matter. They can flip-flop between. It doesn't matter. All we can say is this area is the western part of North Carolina has got some great athletic departments. Okay, we'll just say it. Our area, Cleveland County, Gaston County can be decent at times. Lincoln County, I can count. Because of how the South Fork is, it's Lincoln and Catawba. They're mixed together.
They got to play good because they know they're going to be on YouTube and they know we're going to talk about them on Saturdays. Terry.
That's exactly right.
You don't want Terry trashing you on Saturday morning.
We are the underlying driving force for champions.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
You know how they used to, what was it? It was like Wheaties, the breakfast of champions. KTC, the sports talk of champions.
Well, we haven't been to a lot of championships that they've actually lost once we get there, have we?
I mean,
only a couple.
This continues. We were there, and North Lincoln didn't lose. They didn't lose a game.
I mean, Dennis's school loses when we get there sometimes, but other than that, the rest of them usually win when they get there.
Your name wasn't even in on this conversation until just now.
Yeah, only people that know who we're talking about hopefully know what I was saying there. But anyway, Saturday morning, folks, we got graduation is up and live right now at Burns and Crest. They haven't started. They start at 9. The ceremony started at 9, folks. But the broadcasts are up and live if you want to tune in and get ready to watch. The Kings Mountain broadcast is not live. Kings Mountain is not live, I repeat. So make sure, for you Kings Mountain folks, sorry about that. But they moved outside at the last minute. They didn't. The logistics turned into we couldn't bring it to you live, but we are going to record it and post it later. So everybody will have that. So Rob Roop and R.J. Roop are up at Crest. I want to thank them for everything they're doing up there. They are broadcasting it. Over at Kings Mountain today is our own Bulldog. JP's in charge of something, Terry.
Oh, no. We'll be in the Star Wars. Darth Vader coming across.
I think... So I'm gonna get back to that in a second. It's gonna be funny that JP. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna say it in a second. Who else is broadcast? I want to thank Andre Bush last night for helping me over at Shelby. It was raining at Shelby last night. We did have to go inside. What a great place to do a broadcast from. Everyone over there helped out so much. We just plug right in and get going. We got our internet hooked up. I want to thank everybody over the county for getting Terry, you have no idea the background work and the phone calls. You know how many different people I've had to give my phone number to in the past few days. I've talked to so many people across Cleveland County schools getting ready to do these broadcasts, and I just want to thank them. They've run internet to press boxes, to gyms. We've got internet all over the place over there, Terry, and all it took, we've been asking for years, and all it took was one rainstorm, and now we get internet over there.
There you go.
That's all it took. But anyway, I want to thank them for doing all that. I got a list of names I could go through. Funderburg, let's see, Dellinger, Weiss, Trent Marty, McKee. Let's see who else I talked to. I want to call him Van Exel, Van Horn, I think it was over there. And so for everyone that's helped and do this to get everybody going. So we've got that going today. So Burns and Crest Live, Kings Mountain is recorded. So JP is in charge with the intern over there. JP knows a lot of people over at Kings Mountain, so I thought he'd fit in, he'd enjoy being over there. It's not sports; it gives him something to watch. He's going to know a lot of these people he goes to church with and everything. So that's how I got JP over there. I told him not to break anything. And Terry, before I got out of the parking lot, he called me and he had broke something. That's all I want to say. That's all I'm going to say on the air.
That's all right,
But
JP.
if you know him,
That's all right.
totally expected. And there's a reason I said, JP, don't break anything. And I was not out of the parking lot. Honest to goodness, I'm waiting to get out of the parking lot, and I get a phone call.
Well, at least you hadn't left. At least you wasn't back over here.
You could only imagine the tone of his voice.
Poor JP.
Kevin.
In that,
Moment of silence for JP.
Yeah. I can imagine the other end. Yes. Oh, okay.
oh goodness. But I just wanted to get in and talk a little bit before we go to our break about and I got to go check on the broadcast once again before they start. Coach Carpenter and the Knights. How much did you get into the actual games or anything? Did you get into any?
I just touched on basically the comeback that they had in the second game. First game,
You didn't talk about the finals that too much, did you?
The what?
The finals.
Oh no,
Okay.
not much at all.
So, in the first game, Terry, Joey Cobb was just shut down,
We
outstanding.
mentioned him.
He won the most valuable player.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually my vote. You said you didn't get yours in, did you?
No, I voted for who's the second baseman that had the big hit in game 2.
He batted second too in the lineup too.
No, that was the short.
Oh, he batted ninth. You voted for the ninth.
I voted for the 9-hitter because he was the one that started the rally for them to tie it back up.
So it was tough for me. There was nobody that had a outstanding 2 days at the plate. But also the way I thought about it, Terry, if Joey Cobb don't come in there and shut that lineup, Hunter. Their faces when we were leaving the stadium after Cobb. This team average team runs a game, Terry. I've never seen a team look so down after being Joey Cobb to death for 7 innings in my life. Not a single person was smiling. Hey,
not even the fans. It's not just the players. The fans too. They were like,
we were at a
unprecedented.
funeral. We ain't even left the stadium yet to go eat lunch, and they say they got to play in 3 hours. I swear, I've never seen a team look like that. And they just got completely. I'm guessing they hadn't got shut out. I don't know. They hadn't got shut out all year, had they?
No.
You ever been around them?
Shut down.
No.
I don't think I've been to the high school.
Their outfield is, especially in the left field where it goes up and then it's got a hill that you have to climb, and then these trucks and all set up on top of the hill watching.
Is that
the
the one
game
Lexington
overhead.
where we went to the Legion with the hill? They got a hill and a
Random
fence.
one, yeah.
It might be.
Might be.
Okay.
But,
if it is, I know exactly.
And that's the short. It's short to left,
Right.
but you got to hit it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's got to go up. But and some people said all their home runs come off of that field. A lot of them hit the left.
Everyone who said that, I would like them to meet Nick Neal.
God, every swing. was for the fence.
6'4", 275, and if you've seen a softball player swing a bat, that's what it was. I mean, it don't matter what field they put that kid on, that ball, he's going to hit home runs. So, yes, you could say maybe some of the other ones here and there, but that dude's hitting him out of every part.
Every part. Every part.
Yeah,
and it's every time he made contact with that ball, whether it was
even
straight up.
How high would the pop-ups?
Oh, it would go high, but
the sound,
the sound was just a crack. It was just a crack. You said
everything he had.
Yeah, you're just sitting there and you're thinking, if he would have gotten like a better piece of that ball, it would have sailed.
And here's the thing about Cobb's performance. The umpire had one of the tightest strike zones we've ever seen, and he shut him out.
Yeah,
that was I mean, Terry, it was you had to be in a box.
18 inches wide.
Well, it was 7 inches tall, I would say. It was somewhere you had to be on the belt and inside the plate. Like, you had to be in that zone, or he wasn't calling it, and Cobb shut him down, an offensive team. Mm-hmm. So they can't come in and say the umpire robbed me or did it. No. You had every opportunity to get walked and swing. And he got shut. It was only a 2-run game, wasn't it? 2-0 first game.
Yeah, it was 2-0.
And then the next game, so Hunter, and I talk and Peyton talking there between games. We talked about going down the road that they needed to make it into a pitching duel because they're not gonna. I don't know if they just want to get in a swing contest with them. And we were worried about like what would happen that second game, like at West Lincoln when they gave up 9 runs. Willis again, and it started off really rough. He settled in. And Coach Carpenter kept him on the mound. He's like, "You're going through this," and he stayed out there, and they just kept chipping away. Coach
Carpenter even said if it had to go Game 3, he was confident in Josh Allen, who he would have pulled for Game 3.
We were just concerned about getting that far, and that lineup that they had. You don't want to give them too many chances, and we thought you had to get the Cobb win, whatever game he pitched, 1 or 2. And he showed. I think him winning that one the way he did it and seeing their faces, I think that did it, Terry. And then they got up and they thought they were coming back. I guess and then they just got crushed, with the comeback.
They brought in their third pitcher, and he was.
That was it.
That's all she wrote.
You knew it because they took the second guy out so quick.
They did. They took him out. I think after 2 innings.
Yeah, they can't be this deep because with their pitching, and maybe they are. And they came in, and North Lincoln just started boom, boom, boom. I'm like, this isn't good for Randleman. North Lincoln's got a chance here, and I thought they were done at some point almost, and they just kept boom, boom, boom. They took that pitcher out, and just kept banging him.
And you end up having to give some credit to Randleman in a way because I know their 4 best pitchers were all juniors, and every one of them will be back next year, so they'll probably be looking to.
Might have a repeat series.
See if they can get back there again.
Mm-hmm. So North had 4 seniors. Their middle infielders are freshmen. Cobb's back.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they think about it though, Terry. We talked about in the broadcast. They were dead to rights in round 1.
Yeah.
4-2. The state champion, 4-2. Bottom of the 7th in the first round. And now they're the state champions. And had 2 hit batters.
And had a 9-0.
Got beat 9-0 in the playoffs. So they got beat 9-0 in the playoffs and still won a state championship. So guys, just keep playing hard, keep playing. Randleman, they had a good lineup, good team. The first pitcher, he only gave up 2 runs. So I guess they were kind of doing the same strategy as we were. So I got to get a break and check out these broadcasts here in a second. Real quick.
Probably time to take a break.
Well, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Well, we won't let it be dead air. So walking back there. Actually, you started running. We're back after these messages. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Country Countdown USA.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Kelsey Ballerini, who recently got together with Maren Morse.
That night was so much fun. We had so much tequila. And we all played each other new music, and Maren played us Girl for the first time.
That's Kelsey Ballerini this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Helton, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
We are going racing.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
Far wide at the entrance of 3, and it's Harvick going up the nine.
Last year, Kevin Harvick was king of the Irish Hills.
Total domination again for Kevin Harvick.
But a new generation of NASCAR stars is ready to rise at Michigan.
3 wide, Logano up the middle, Byron on the bottom, Iowa top right.
The Firekeepers Casino 400.
Give Logano the spot.
Sunday at 1 on the Motor Racing Network.
Firekeepers Casino 400 this Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country, WCSL, 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Dwight Fowler at Renato Automall in Shelby says no bull. That's right, you get no bull at Renato Automall. Just good old down-home pricing, and that's no bull. Whether you're shopping for a new Kia, Honda, Buick, or GMC, you get great deals, great financing, and great service. So hurry on in now during the No Bull Sale event at Renato Kia, Renato Honda, Renato Buick GMC, all at Renato Automall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. Make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listener post. All you have to do is tune your radio in your business or office to 107.5 FM or 92.3 FM. Let us know and we'll put your name on the radio. And each month we'll have a drawing from area listener posts for a dozen breakfast biscuits from the Creekside Clock Restaurant in Shelby, along with coffee or tea. Area listener posts include Promotion Motors in Lincolnton, Cherryville Signs and Graphics, Lowe's of Lincolnton, Watson Carpet and Tile, R&D Mattress Center of Cherryville, Carolina Furniture Mart, Memory Lane in Krause, Watson Carpet and Tile, Davis Brothers Automotive, and Carolina Furniture Mart. So make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listening post today. Now, how long have you been putting off getting your teeth fixed? Too long, right? Well, I have good news for you. Opening June the 11th, the all-new Downtown Dental in Cherryville, located at 106 North Mountain Street, right across from the Greer Beam Truck Museum. If you're not insured, you can have your teeth fixed at the new Downtown Dental, and they also accept insurance and Medicaid. That's the new Downtown Dental, opening June 6th at 106 North Mountain Street in Cherryville. Just call 704-435-8100, and you'll leave with a smile. At Carolina Care Health and Rehabilitation in Cherryville, it's their passion that makes them different. Their goal is to return their rehabilitation residents home as soon as possible. Carolina Care Health and Rehabilitation offers 24-hour nursing care, foods prepared on site, private and semi-private accommodations, television and telephone, and even wireless internet. From short-term to long-term care, your care and safety is their top priority. For more information, call and speak with a representative at 704-435-4161 or visit the website at sandstonehealth.com. Carolina Care Health and Rehabilitation, where their passion makes them different. Come out and visit Mountain View Farm Event Barn this Saturday, June 8th, during their second anniversary celebration and live radio remote broadcast. I'm Calvin Hastings, and I would invite you to join the boss this Saturday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Mountain View Farm, located at 1409 West Stagecoach Trail, halfway between Lawndale and Polkville. We'll be there with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including American Legion Baseball World Series tickets, 2 free nights lodging at the Red Roof Inn anywhere in the USA. Mountain View Farm Event Barn is a newly restored 1950s barn and reception pavilion, nestled in the quiet country atmosphere of Upper Cleveland County, just 25 minutes northwest of Shelby. They are the recipient of Cleveland County's Best of the Best Wedding Venue for 2018, offering options for weddings and other events inside the barn as well as on the lawn. So we invite all brides-to-be and their friends and families to drop by this Saturday, June 8th. Sit on the deck, relax, enjoy the company and the music. More than 20 vendors will be present to assist you with your event planning. It'll be fun time at Mountain View Farm Event Barn this Saturday, June 8th, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Dwight Fowler at Renato Automall in Shelby says no bull. That's right, you get no bull at Renato Automall. Just good old down-home pricing, and that's no bull. Whether you're shopping for a new Kia, Honda, Buick, or GMC, you get great deals, great financing, and great service. So hurry on in now during the No Bull Sale event at Renato Kia, Renato Honda, Renato Buick GMC, all at Renato Automall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. Make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listener post. All you have to do is tune your radio in your business or office to 107.5 FM or 92.3 FM. Let us know and we'll put your name on the radio. And each month we'll have a drawing from area listener posts for a dozen breakfast biscuits from the Creekside Clock Restaurant in Shelby, along with coffee or tea. Area listener posts include Promotion Motors in Lincolnton, Cherryville Signs and Graphics, Lowe's of Lincolnton, Watson Carpet and Tile, R&D Mattress Center of Cherryville, Carolina Furniture Mart, Memory Lane in Krause, Watson Carpet and Tile, Davis Brothers Automotive, and Carolina Furniture Mart. So make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listening post today.
This is Evangelist Kim Earwood with Jesus Until the Whole World Hears Radio Ministry. Join us each Sunday morning from 8 to 8:30 a.m. for worship and the Word of God on 1390 and 1590 a.m., 101.5 FM, and ktcbroadcasting.com, and live on Facebook. Also, be sure and stay tuned from 8:30 to 9 o'clock on 1390 a.m., 101.5 FM, ktcbroadcasting.com, and live on Facebook for half hour of praise and worship with Jesus until the whole world hears.
Now's the time to buy your new Kubota from Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Right now, pay zero money down. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Come on in now for all the details. All for good on the Kubota BX Series, the Kubota B Series, the Kubota L Series, and the Kubota MX Series tractors. Again, 0 money down and 0% APR financing for 60 months. Get your new Kubota today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain.
Every morning is different for everybody. Nate gets up for the early shift, while Brad is just getting home from the night shift. Pam runs a PR and a 5K, while Drew runs late to work. Beth proposes a road trip to her boyfriend, while Mark proposes to his girlfriend. Luckily, there's a McDonald's for every morning.
Start your morning with a rich, smooth, and freshly brewed McCafe coffee. And now, get any size for just $1 at McDonald's. Limited time offer. Price of participation may vary. A la carte only.
How about that? Okay, good morning. Are y'all on? Yeah, hit the red button. Terry, the red button. Turn yourself on. Oh, I got to hit the red button for y'all. Y'all try it now. Now try it again. See, Terry don't even know his on-off button.
There we are.
No, that's my fault. I did it. Look, don't roll your eyes at me in there.
No way.
If you're watching live on YouTube today, thank you for watching every Saturday morning. Hunter Yancey, Kevin Hastings, Terry Reinhardt, Tom comes in every once in a while. JP usually running the board. I'm running the board for here, talking sports talk, and running up down the hall, running 2 graduations at once, a live one and a recorded one. So I'm a little busy. I need about a few more arms, maybe an octopus. Need a trained octopus.
Mr. McBeavy.
Hey,
12 hands on Andy Griffin.
Is that what?
That's what you need.
Is that what it is? Well, folks, Calvin them up here in Lawndale today, Mountain View Farms. For all you folks at the Burns graduation, watching Burns graduation online, everybody tell your friends, tell your family. Hey, after graduation, go get your free hot dog and check out Calvin and them up at Mountain View Farms here. What a perfect drive home, fill you up after been sitting out and watching graduation all morning and get you a free hot dog.
That's it, and it's free.
Did he tell you where they're from this morning? I can't remember where he said they was from, so I'm not gonna announce it exactly where they're from. But I'll get to that here in a little bit. The important thing to talk about right now is what we stayed up last night to watch, Hunter, is NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Game 4.
Yes.
And I just want to, again, go. I'll tell you what. Hunter, give me your synopsis from last night's games, and then we'll move over to Terry, and I'll join you guys in there in just a moment.
From last night's game, well, I actually took screenshots of some statistics I pulled up from last night's game. Terry might have them as well. The one that stuck out to me the most, though, was turnovers. Toronto only had 9 turnovers. That's still almost 10. That's quite, I mean, some would say that's a lot. Golden State had 17 turnovers. Now, I didn't get the stat on how many of those turnovers Toronto was able to turn into points. But I remember seeing one where Kyle Lowry was able to get the steal on a pass and take it down and pass it into Siakam. Siakam was fouled, of course, by Boogie Cousins, but even still, that was a breakaway. It might as well have just, they gave it, at the line, he hit both free throws, but those are points there off of the turnover. Mm-hmm. To me, it was literally the tale of two halves. In the first half, everything was going the Warriors' way. That's why they had the lead at halftime, but they were only up by 4. It was very, very slim. Toronto had nothing to hang their hat on. That's what the halftime group said. For them to only be down 4, as bad as they were shooting in the first half, that's perfectly fine. So turnovers, I think, was a big deal. 17 for Golden State to Toronto's 9, and it was a tale of two halves. But here's the thing, really, to me. Bench scoring made a huge difference. You got 20 off of the bench from Serge Ibaka for Toronto. Not only that, they had some decent scoring all around for Toronto. That's what hurt Toronto in the first half. I didn't think the complementary players that were on that team were stepping up as much as Kawhi Leonard was stepping up.
Well, when we talk about who won, you talk about the scoring off the bench in that game. I want to jump back to the game before when they won. Mm-hmm. The scoring from the starters, not named when Steph was out there by himself, and Terry's hero. Yeah. The scoring from the starters in that game was 72, other than Kawhi Leonard for the Raptors, and it was 32 other than Steph Curry for the Warriors in that game.
And Steph Curry was great, but he just didn't have enough.
7 points and. But
the second half, to me, really, from last night's game, this is just wrap up my synopsis of last night's game, was that Toronto's bench and their complementary players did start to play. Siakam started to play a little bit better. You got double-digit, I think, or close to double-digit assists from Kyle Lowry. They didn't have as many turnover problems as they did. Kyle Lowry, he was close. He had 7 assists. So you were getting all these players to really start gelling and starting to get going that they couldn't do in the first half. And for them to do that against a team that was really dominant in the first half. They looked like old Warriors. Even Klay Thompson with his little hamstring injury, he didn't look played by it at all. He even led the Golden State Warriors in scoring last night with 28. So to me, it was literally the tale of two halves. First half, all Warriors, they're playing Warriors basketball. Second half, the Warriors get out of Warriors basketball. The defense steps up for Toronto, and Toronto's bench plays a whole lot better than the Golden State Warriors did.
So Terry and Hunter, I want to toot my own horn again a little bit here. Called this for the season, Raptors, baby. I didn't say they'd win the championship because I thought Kevin Durant would be on the floor. The thing about and what we're seeing here, and is the theme of what we talk about in basketball a lot, Terry, with and the example I was getting at in Game 3 with Curry's 47 points.
Yeah.
He was spectacular in Game 3, right? They lost. Mm-hmm. Last night, not so much. 9 of 22, 27 points. He had help from Klay. But the thing about it is that when you lead and score is the point guard, and that 47 points kind of shows that it's really tough to win basketball games that way. Westbrook has been doing it over the years, and we say this all the time. For you folks listening and watching today, only 3 times in NBA history has a point guard led his team in scoring in the finals and won a championship. Steph did it once, the first one. Isaiah did it once. Magic did it once. That's it. No one else. So we've got all these wonderful, great point guards over these years, and the point guard position is probably the deepest position in the NBA.
It is.
But it is so tough to win that way because of that guy's the ball that brings up the court. That's the guy that instigates the offense. And it's worked so good over the years because Draymond does instigate a lot. Iggy instigates a lot. And they'll run Steph and Klay off those screens. So Steph being the only one. Then when he was out there Tuesday by himself, you could totally see that's Westbrook ball. That's what Westbrook's had to do, but he's shooting instead of taking it to the rack. So that's what he's had to do.
This also isn't the same Warriors team as it has been in the past, and I'm not talking about the injury problems because Boogie Cousins is out there literally on one thigh because he tore his dang thigh muscle literally about a month ago. Klay Thompson I'm not talking about Klay Thompson's hamstring because he still scored 28. they are not as deep as they have been in the years they've won the championship. They've been able to go to their bench when they need to, give guys a rest, maybe keep one of their star players out there. They are not. There's no depth on this bench at all.
It's not that they don't need, real quick, Terry, it's the first championship they won. It's not that they don't need Kevin Durant's 35 points a game. They need 20 points in defense out of a small forward position. That's what Harrison Barnes did. So that's the position he filled where they could still win a championship. Durant scoring up to 35 points a game is just gravy on the boat, which means Klay and Steph scoring less.
And he's not a bad defender because he's
getting a
7
foot tall defender on the court, and she also, and watch what. And I want to send this to Terry for a minute. Really, what I wanted to ask you, just watching Kawhi. I'm not saying he's as good as him. He's playing 90s basketball right now. He's playing at Jordan, Kobe, one-on-one basketball to where he's getting to whatever spot he wants. And there was one spot last night, they were down there early, 10, 12 points. He took it in the lane, Terry, stopped, pivoted, and just did a fadeaway in the lane. And whoever was guarding him was all over him, but his hand, they showed his shot was another foot above him. So he knew he'd get that. That's what I mean by the Jordan and Kobe, where I'm going to get to my spot, I'm going to take my shots, and you guys are going to stop me. They held him to 92 points last night. That team averaged 118 on the season, Terry. Kawhi, does he not remind you of some of that type of basketball? And also the defense that they're playing, and then back again to anything else you want to kind of elaborate on that.
Well, I do when I'm looking at the series, and last night's game, 105-92, and you had Kyle Lowry 3 out of 12. You had Green 1 out of 8.
Yeah.
And they still won by 13. And
92 points.
So, and in the first half, we sat there and Toronto could not hit nothing. And they could not expand the lead. They run it to 13, but when you have a chance to put the game away, you have to. And they did not. They kept letting them stay around. Then they go to halftime, and I'm like, Hunter, and even all them people on television, for them to only be down by 4, you're still in the game.
Yeah.
They gave you every opportunity. Then when you come out in the third quarter, Kawhi did his thing. He just said, I'm going to do my thing against you. Now, Kawhi is not a Michael Jordan. I cannot never put him on that same level. Is he a good player? He's one of my top 10, I would say, right now of all time.
Of all time already?
Of all time is where I'd put him. Because I think he's that good. He can take over a game, Kawhi.
Kawhi's got that switch.
Yeah,
he's got that switch. He doesn't. If he doesn't have to, he's not going to.
Player ever or top 10?
Well, the reason I'm saying this because I've seen him do this twice. Against Philadelphia, Kawhi basically just took over the game. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was asking about. Like that's what I mean. And these kids haven't seen in a while. Is when you go to any park, any backyard, that's how basketball was played. If I'm the best player on the court, I do all the moves that Kawhi's doing, all the moves that Jordan's doing. Now, yes, it's a very miniature version of it, not getting high and everything. But if I'm the best player on the court, I take over the game.
People haven't seen this type of play, and that's why they've been comparing Kawhi to him right now since Kobe. Kobe was probably the last true one-on-one ball player that we've seen, but until Kawhi. But like I said, Kawhi's got that switch. If he doesn't have to take over, he's not going to.
Everybody tried to beat the Warriors their style. And for years, I've been saying, I have not, Terry, I've said on the show, you can't beat them at their style. Whatever they do best doesn't mean you have to beat them that way, because Steph Curry is a different animal.
You beat them inside.
Because he gets so deep. And here's the thing. Without that small forward on the floor, if Klay and Curry get hot, they can beat you and they can outshoot you. But if one of them's not, then is it not easier to guard the three-point line, Terry, without the Durant or the Harrison Barnes at the slide? Because you have no threat right now inside that three-point line. Even with Klay out there, the Raptors are like, well, there is no threat, right? We can. If Draymond takes us to the hole or Iguodala takes the hole, we'll take our chances one-on-one. Boogie's is tough to deal with.
But even Boogie right now is hobbled.
And he's hobbled, He's
hobbled. It's not 100% Boogie. Kevon Looney last night is playing
in the lane.
Yeah.
Is that not what I think's hurting this team now?
Injuries?
No, I'm not going to say injuries. Yeah, for sure.
I was
talking about the long pace of the last 5 seasons for Golden State. They've been to the championship.
Oh, they've gone the
That's
distance.
what I'm saying. And when you start
team
looking
does.
at them compared to Toronto with way less fresh legs than what Golden State's had to produce year after year after year after year.
Well,
And
even
once you get to
Kawhi
the
has had
fifth
more rest
time,
this year.
yeah, once you get to the fifth time, and now we've got Thompson's injury. We had Cousins that was injured, which he wasn't in that span of all these guys. Now you got Durant. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I still don't think
it's just a
I still
long
don't think
period.
Durant's playing.
I don't think he is either.
And they just ain't
I
saying
think
nothing.
what Chris Carter said on First Things First was spot on. He said, I think this is a tear in this
And they're
calf.
not saying
He
it.
said, there's
That's
no
what it
way
counts.
a
Maybe it's not the
strain.
Achilles, he
Yeah,
can't.
there's no way a strain keeps you out almost a whole month from basketball. Usually some people, for God's sakes, Klay almost pulled his dang hamstring, and he went out there and played
They wrapped him
2
back
or
up
3
last
days
night. Yeah.
3 games later.
It just seems like it was last week where Durant got hurt. It has been.
I know. It's been a month or so. It's been almost 2 whole series.
Well, I like the thing that they put up there when they showed Thompson, and it was like he's played in like 121 playoff games, and that's the first game he's ever missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, from all accounts, everyone says Klay Thompson's a warrior, and he's going to be out there. And he missed a regular season game one time for an injury. He apologized to his team after the game. So
this
Klay Thompson,
this team, I don't want this championship because I believe the Raptors win this next game and take it home. They're going back to Toronto. I think they win on their home floor in Toronto. I don't want this championship to have an asterisk next to it, though, where people say it's just because the Golden State Warriors were injury prone. And I feel like that's what it's going to be.
It is.
Because I know Kevin Durant makes a big difference, but if Klay Thompson does not have that little hamstring pull, that's just as good of a lineup I'm looking at right now. Curry, Thompson, Cousins, Iguodala, and Draymond Green than the ones they had where they beat the Cavaliers and won it. That's just as good of a lineup. Even DeMarcus Cousins can go out there and get you 20.
Iggy's hurt too.
That's what I'm saying.
This reminds you of an NFL Super Bowl matchup where you're getting down to who's the healthiest a lot of times because it's been
And Kawhi's not going to get hurt. He's had so many extra days of rest this season. I would not be surprised if other teams model themselves with their star players after what Kawhi's doing. He's made it this long. He's got 14 games with 30-plus points, and I think he's going to get the record for 15 in the next game.
Do you not think that's what's going to happen there? And just what you said, people are going to complain about this NBA championship being Golden State was hurt if they lose it. I mean, it's like the Washington Redskins last year when you had to keep putting, and all of a sudden we're taking defensive guys
that was
offense to play the line.
We had a lot of potential, and we just kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
And then just like us Redskins, how we lost our key player in Alex Smith, horribly, of course, they lose one of their nucleus players in Kevin Durant. But I don't know. I don't want this to be an asterisk, but I know it probably is going to be because. But I mean, they'll never take the championship away from Toronto at all. Of course, I mean, you can't. They won it fair and square, but it was against, people will always say, a hobbled, a not full strength Golden State team. But I think this is a good thing though for the NBA that the Golden State Warriors don't win it. And I think the series has been better without Kevin Durant in it.
Hey guys, we're going to take another break here in just a few moments, but I've got a special. We're going to check in real quick, guys, at Crest High School, and we're going to get a couple of names announced on the radio here as they announce some of the names. Burns is about to start announcing some of theirs. So let's check in out at Crest as they do live graduation on YouTube.
Simo cum laude. Kendall Jamon Gill.
And just remember, they're on a stadium mic, so this isn't, the audio quality probably isn't going to be the best ever.
Nadrea Anika Goodson.
But that's out at Crest High School right now, announcing the graduates of the 2019 class. You're watching live on YouTube. If you folks listening on the air, you can check that out after the broadcast. We're going to have Kings Mountain. They're recording and not live right now. We're going to switch over to Burns here in just a second. So there's some Crest graduates out there on the stage going across. Congratulations to all of them. Now, Centophany, our own Centophany and Trent Marty were in charge of Burns. Let's check in and see if they got everything going out over there, guys. Let's check in real quick.
Damian Skylar Biddix. Sean Phillip Bingham.
These are graduates at Burns High School right now.
Dylan Riker Blanton. Gracie Ann Blanton. Roger Cole Blanton.
Well, congratulate all of our graduates of 2019.
Michael Andrew Bolden.
In Cleveland County, Gaston County, Lincoln County, and all of our surrounding counties as well. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Finish up some of the show on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Everybody comes up to the gearbox. The pushing and shoving began.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
3 wide for the race lead coming to turn 3.
In the Motor City, victory is a hard-earned prize.
They're battling for the lead now.
Over America's best drivers.
But Austin Dillon's got something to say about it.
The LTI Printing 250 from Michigan.
He splits the difference up the middle. He'll go to the lead by a nose.
Saturday at 1 p.m. on the Motor Racing Network.
The LTI Printing 250 this Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
On July 6th, gather your family and friends for summer's biggest celebration, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Experience a weekend of excitement with racing under the lights and celebrate Independence Day with patriotic tributes and the region's largest fireworks display over the infield at Daytona. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 will be a celebration to remember. Adult tickets start at $49, kids $20. Lock in your seats at 1-800-PIT-SHOP or DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Stay tuned to the Boston Carolina Country for a chance to win free ticket. Dwight Fowler at Renato Automall in Shelby says no bull. That's right, you get no bull at Renato Automall. Just good old down-home pricing, and that's no bull. Whether you're shopping for a new Kia, Honda, Buick, or GMC, you get great deals, great financing, and great service. So hurry on in now during the No Bull Sale event at Renato Kia, Renato Honda, Renato Buick GMC, all at Renato Automall, 4423 Stixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
With a roster full of young superstars, the sky's the limit for the 2019 Atlanta Braves, and we'll bring you every huge moment.
Fly ball to deep left center field. At the track, looking up, it's out of here!
Atlanta Braves baseball, back again on the Boston Carolina Country. WHS Shelby, WLON Lincolnton, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia.
It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
Check out the monthly specials at the Cherryville Country Club. Open to the public with no reservations required. It's prime rib the first Friday of each month. Crab legs on the second Thursday and Friday of each month. It's steak and wine on the third Thursday and Friday of each month with fresh hand-cut steaks. And it's fish camp night the fourth Thursday and Friday of each month. And don't forget about their Sunday buffet from 11 to 2. Plus the chicken on the run bucket on Sundays, 8 pieces of chicken, 2 sides, and rolls for $14.50. The Cherryville Golf and Country Club on the Roy Acre Road in Cherryville.
And good morning. Welcome back to Saturday Sports Talk. Kevin Hastings along with Terry Reinhardt and Hunter Yancey. And we've got a nice, wonderful Saturday morning. For a little bit, we think, Terry, and then it's going to rain for a couple of days.
That's what they keep saying.
That's what they say.
That's what
Who's
the weatherman says.
Who's they, Terry? You always got to ask.
They is the weather men that surround our area, and there's quite a few of them.
Weather people.
Yeah.
Weather people. Yes, weather people.
Yeah, thank everyone. Every Saturday morning you're listening here on 1590 AM, 92.3 FM. In Cherryville area, in the Lincoln area, 107.5 FM, 1050 AM. Graduation ceremonies are wrapping up around the counties. Creston Burns is about halfway through. I guess so is West Lincoln and everybody else. So congratulations to them. I got a niece graduating at West Lincoln today. I'll be going to her graduation party here after lunch. I guess I got to go give her a lot of money to eat cupcakes, Terry, is how that works. Ain't that
Just
right?
bring money.
That's what she said. I was like, what do you want? You want me to buy you anything? She said, no, she wants money. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you
just
going to do with the
bring
money? Like, I'll buy the thing you're going
Nice
to do with the
Visa
money.
card
Yeah.
or something.
What are you gonna do with it, huh? Huh? You better not be doing this for illegal things.
Shit. Don't buy anything that you can't that you'll regret later with it, like a, I don't know, stuffed cow or something, Terry.
Stuffed cow.
A cow patty
That's
bingo.
right. Don't forget, coming up, the first annual Cow Pie Bingo at the Word of Life Lutheran Mission Church in Vale, North Carolina.
For our international viewers, Terry's going to explain it, or might have Hunter explain it, but Terry's going to explain it. How about this? Hunter, you read it, and we'll let Terry explain what's going on in Cat Square.
Saturday, June 22nd.
You can read
3 p.m. Ike Sane Corral. Tickets are $20 for a square. It's a 300 square pasture. When a cow lays a cow pie.
Hold on, not when a cow. When a cow.
Yes.
W-H-E-N.
Yes, not W-I-N.
You're not winning a cow.
Yeah, you're not winning a cow. Let me
Sound like you said, win a cow.
When. All right, let's say this correctly.
When a cow.
When a cow lays a cow pie. Let me reread that to you. You did not hear that. You did not hear that. You did not mishear that. When a cow lays a cow pie on your square, you win. Winner gets $1,000, an extra $100 bonus if present at event. So you have to still be there to get an extra $100.
So, folks, proceeds go to Word of Life Lutheran Church. Check out their Facebook page for rules and regulations. Now, Terry, we're going to read
this.
They got
Is
food,
good.
face painting, vendors, games, bouncy houses, and prizes, all to watch. Cow Patty Bingo.
That's right. I mean, it's
one cow, right?
It's it's intense.
I mean, you got to be sweating when he gets near your little square. You'll be saying, "This is it. This is it." I mean, sweat will be pouring.
Explain to our listeners who are unaffiliated and our viewers online what that means when a cow lays a cow pie on your square. What is exactly that we're watching?
We're looking here for a cow pie.
$20 to buy a
he's going to walk around. He's going to be eating, and you're like, once he gets near you, you hope he stays there.
Tell people what a cow pie is, Terry.
Well, everybody knows what a cow pie is.
We have to put this delicately because it is radio, but it is when a cow lays a cow pie.
When a cow goes potty in your square, you win $1,000. You get an extra $100 if you're there at the event watching when it does. So you can buy a ticket for $20, right, Terry?
So wait, I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but this is what you're just giving $1,000 to anybody who gets a cow pie in their square.
Just the first one.
Yeah.
Just the first one.
The first one. The first annual cow. It could
go
be
to the
less
Facebook
than
page.
2
Read the
years.
rules, Hunter.
Oh, I was about to say, wait a minute. So we can have 3 cows going 3 different squares at once, and you're giving away $3,000.
So no cow tipping to try to make it on your square, right, Terry?
There's no laxatives.
Can you cheer on the cow? Can you do you get to stand on the outside edges of the cow? Be like, come to my square.
The cow's number.
Come to my
That's
square.
what it
cow.
is.
Can I get a T-shirt?
Well, does it say T-shirts on there?
No, it doesn't. That's
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But they did have T-shirts. I'm not lying about that. They do have cow.
Well, there you go. Just to put a bingo with a big old cow in the center. This exact picture right here.
Word of Life Lutheran Mission Church. Okay.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this needs to be. You can't see this.
22nd.
Y'all knew we were gonna talk some.
Yeah, we had to get weird.
Talk some stuff. Talk some junk here today, but you didn't go. No, it's gonna go that far, Terry. Your opinion always stinks, Terry, but it just got really bad today. It's just awful today.
My opinion, you'd be surprised at America that listens.
Real quick, America that listens. Real quick, before we get on to our other sports and everything, I want to finish up some NBA talk on this since we don't have too much going on in the NFL world. There's a couple of things happened this week, not too big, but anyway. And you guys talk baseball, so how do you see, Terry? And this is getting the free agency guys. So are we assuming Durant's not coming back in the series? So do you think that means he's more likely to come back? The rumors are for Durant that he could go to, basically, it's looking like Brooklyn with Kyrie, the Knicks. Here's what I'm hearing with Knicks, with Kemba and the Knicks. So that's his choices in New York. Kemba with the Knicks, folks. Or Kyrie and Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Or, see, they're talking about, do you think Kawhi is more likely to stay in Toronto now? Listen to how the money works out. By going to Toronto, he lost $39 million.
Mm-hmm.
If he resigns with Toronto, he loses 39, right? If he goes to LA, the Clippers, or anywhere else, he loses another 40. So by going from the Spurs, asking to leave the Spurs, and if he ends up in LA or anywhere else besides Toronto, he loses $80 million, Terry. He's already lost $40 million. So it's $40 million extra to stay in Toronto. And not only, say they don't even win and they come back. Do you think it's more likely with that $40 million that he's going to be in Toronto next year, or is he going to go home and be a Clipper?
See, you don't know what goes through his head. I'm really telling you the truth.
Well, think about it. He left all that money on the table in San Antonio. That would be ridiculous to me.
I mean, so to him, I don't think the money situation's got anything to do with it. It's where I'm going to be happy.
Do you see what he said, though, right there?
Yeah.
I play to win, not hero ball. So here's the question then. If it is true that he plays to win and maybe money is not quite an option for him, where do you think he's got the better chance to continue to win? If he stays in Toronto, I'm pretty sure it's almost the new LeBron of the East Coast. He basically has a cakewalk through the East until Giannis and the Bucks can start playing a little bit better when they get a little bit more mature in the playoffs. Same with if the 76ers blow it all up or not. That's basically a cakewalk for him in Toronto if they can keep everybody that they have. Or is it better for him winning-wise and to get to another championship to go to the West where it's a lot deeper and play for the Clippers,
right?
Who would still have to go through Houston, who would have to go through Golden State, even without Kevin Durant, will still be decent. The Spurs always have a good team. Denver is a rising powerhouse with their players. Utah's good. Portland is good, even though they got swept by the Warriors. But, I mean, so it's a lot harder of a road in the West than it is the East. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what goes through his head because some of the stuff he says, you're just like, what?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Like he doesn't show allegiance to anybody. He didn't show allegiance to San Antonio, and like last night, I was joking about it in between at the break, but they were like, well, what do you think this is going to mean bringing a championship to Toronto? He's like, well, I don't know. You have to ask a Toronto fan. It's like he doesn't show allegiance that, oh, this is my team. He's just there to win a championship.
So I wanted to look at their cap space real quick situation. Going into next year, they're only going to lose.
It's like out of the starters, Danny Green, Marcus Sol, unless they re-sign them.
More than likely, they're going to re-sign those. That's $34 million. That would clear up. They got $12 million over, 34 over the cap right now. They're $12 million over the tax, so that would just put them right at the line. So they're going to have a couple choices. They can just let those guys go and re-sign some minimum guys, or they could actually give those guys like 2-year deals for a little bit more than a minimum, like $5 to $7 million in that range. Powell's down there making $9 million. That's the really only bad contract that they have, because Kawhi, whatever they're going to give, that he's going to have to keep. He's going to get whatever money Gasol and them don't get. Here's where they're at. They're not a player this year in free agency, but next year, Kyle Lowry's coming $31 million off the books, and Ibaka is coming. That's $52 million that are coming off the books with Lowry and Ibaka in another year.
And if Kyle Lowry wins this championship this year, because he's been with Toronto his whole career,
they'll let him go.
They'll let him go. Yeah. They'll let him go because they're like, hey, dude, you did what we wanted. You did what you wanted to do while you were here in Toronto.
He's not worth
the money.
Well, see, the PER 16 is supposed to be average. He's down to 16.5 now. Kawhi is 26. So Ibaka's at 19. So 20 and above is really all-star level. And Lowry's not been playing well. And right, like I said, maybe they compete again next year and just make these conference finals, Terry. Then the next year, they can sign. They can sign whoever they want to play with Kawhi.
Kyle Lowry is not that guy at point guard.
Is that Karl Anthony Towns and them? Is that when they'll be out? 2 years. No, that's be Anthony Davis's free agency, won't it?
Well,
Not this summer, but next summer?
Not this summer. Next summer. He basically wherever he gets traded this year, because he's going to get traded. It's just a matter of where. He's only there for a year.
Yeah, that's.
And
the
then
problem.
he gets to decide.
So
where
Anthony
he wants
Davis
to go.
can sign with
Do you like that, guys?
What?
I mean, do you like guys coming? I mean, we brought Kyrie to Boston for his 1 year, and now I'm ready to get rid of him. He can go play anywhere. But
Terry, you're just worried that Boston's going to get Anthony Davis for a year.
Well, I'm
and
scared
he's going
of
to
that.
get up and leave.
Yeah, I'm scared of that because we're going to give up 2 players or more to get him for a 1 year span. I mean,
Boston
is that
has
over the
got
top?
the better assets to trade for Anthony Davis. Do I think it's a bad thing to trade Anthony Davis? No, because I don't think it's a bad thing. You're going to just move him while you can get something for him. That's what the whole problem is with the Hornets with Kemba. You're about to just lose him unless you do a sign and trade. You're just going to lose him for nothing, and then you have your franchise leading scorer just out the door for nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
but who's the teams that's jumping up saying, I want to get him? The Nets?
The Nets want him, the Knicks,
Get who?
Anthony Davis.
Anthony.
And this is why the Nets and the Knicks want Anthony Davis so much, because it's a good extra complimentary piece to coax in. Both those teams want Kevin Durant.
Listen, wouldn't you do this? Wouldn't you do this for me? Either one of us.
Okay, just say hypothetically if we're in that general manager position
of the Hornets.
Okay.
The Pelicans want to send him east.
Yeah.
They might not get the deal they want out of everybody.
Bring him to where he was originally supposed to be.
How about the Hornets offer him every pick they can, the 4 first-rounders, and whoever they want on the roster, so they'll get cap space and some first-round picks.
Shoot, I'd send Nick Batum there in a heartbeat. Get out of that contract.
Think about Anthony Davis pick and rolling and moving around with Kemba on the floor. I mean,
that's if they keep.
Well, no, they would keep Kemba if they traded Davis. Yeah, if they trade if Anthony Davis comes to Charlotte, they might keep Kemba. That might end up keeping them both. You never know. Is Kemba going to turn down $100 million or $80 million to go somewhere else and not play with Anthony Davis? Think about it. Kemba, you want $100 million to stay in Charlotte, play with Anthony Davis, or $100 million to go to New York?
So you would do that for just a year, because Anthony Davis would more than likely sign with the Lakers, like Rich Paul wants him to do, or sign somewhere else.
That is the thing. But still, as the Hornets, and everybody's like, well, you don't want to mess up your team.
It's not a good deal.
But what I'm saying, Terry, I know you're going to say that, but here's what I'm saying. Why not take the 1 year chance if you're the Charlotte Hornets? There's only 3 teams in NBA history who've never made a conference finals, and you're one of them.
Yeah.
Take the 1 year chance. They did it with Dwight Howard. These young guys ain't that good to be like, hey, you can have Cody Zeller and MKG and everybody else. You can have whoever you want. It's not going to ruin them.
I think the way that the East is going right now,
it won't happen.
I think if that was to happen, the Hornets could be in a 4 or 5 seed. Right. The way that it's going, they could get in a 4 and 5 seed and get at least out of the first round if they draw it right. You know, it depends on who they play, depends on their seeding. Mm-hmm. If you want to take the 1 year risk and you know that you're stuck with Kemba for another few years,
how else would you get rid of some of these other bad contracts that you'll never get rid of? Like
you have to trade for another. You have to trade for another somebody that's about to. That's
right. So you maybe take another bad contract from. I mean, if you're the Hornets, you got to throw something. You got
here. If you're the Hornets, here, I mean, look right there. Just as good in the pick and roll and it can do outside shooting, is a better defender than Anthony Davis almost. Serge Ibaka. I mean, maybe you can get some of his contract down just to trade for him. Gets out of some of the contracts you do have. Toronto be off of a championship. They're not going to necessarily need him. I mean, they did what they needed to do because they're going to probably sign Marc Gasol back or trade for Marc Gasol.
Terry, if you're Durant, what do you do?
If I'm Durant?
Mm-hmm.
I go to Brooklyn.
Oh, Moses, man.
Brooklyn's got the better supporting cast than
does
the
he
New York
want to
Knicks.
compete for a championship again, or does he just want money now? I mean, that's what
the money's in Golden State.
Yeah, that's where he should stay.
The money's in Golden State, but here's the thing: wherever Kevin Durant goes, is title contention.
I mean,
wherever Kevin Durant goes, I'm going to say it right now. Even if Kevin Durant came to the Charlotte Hornets, that's title contention. If Charlotte somehow was able to keep Kemba Walker and keep the pieces around him, Miles Bridges is not bad. Cody Zeller's a pick and roll guy. You know, that's title contention. They'll at least make the Eastern Conference Finals. Kevin Durant is that good now. People just have to face the fact he's that good. He can take him.
Well, Terry, you got to think about
these.
Kemba and Durant against Giannis. I mean,
yeah, and Middleton has shown that he crumbles under.
The East isn't that hard to get through.
Yeah, that's why he'll come to the East.
You're supposed to be able to get through the first round in the East if you got one of the top 10 players in the league. Second round, you might have a little trouble. With third round, it should be a good series like it was this year. And you know, they had two good series, really. Philadelphia gave them a run, and Boston both, and everybody else. But, all right, we got to get out of here for another break and do some little promos, and we'll be back. We got a NASCAR to talk about, maybe a couple other things to touch on. We'll be right back. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Country Gold with Terry Clark.
I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s. This week, my guests will be Big and Rich from backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. The guys are celebrating their 15th anniversary as a duo, and they're on the Peace, Love, and Happy Hour tour. That's Big and Rich with me on Country Gold with Terry Clark.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
We are going racing.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
Far wide at the entrance of 3, and it's Harvick going up the cut.
Last year, Kevin Harvick was king of the Irish Hills.
Total domination again for Kevin Harvick.
But a new generation of NASCAR stars is ready to rise at Michigan.
3 wide, Logano up the middle, Byron on the bottom, Iowa top right.
The Firekeepers Casino 400.
Give Logano the spine.
Sunday at 1 on the Motor Racing Network.
Firekeepers Casino 400 this Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country, WCSL, 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincolnton, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Get ready for Father's Day with a stop at Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain. Howard Elmore says, come on in. They've got some great gift ideas, like those Traeger grills, along with the Traeger pellets, cooking accessories, rubs, and sauces. Also case knives, Husqvarna blowers and trimmers, Lodge cookware, and much, much more. It's a big old toy box for Dad. That's Hometown Hardware, 110 South Railroad Avenue, downtown Kings Mountain. There's no one like you. And Pandora Jewelry is opening up all kinds of possibilities to show that to the world with the new open bangle. Beautifully crafted from sterling silver with new interchangeable end caps. You can mix, match, and even have the freedom to customize like never before. Shop the new open bangle from Pandora Jewelry now and do see the wonderful Pandora Jewelry. Available at Facet Foundry Jewelry Studios, 530 South New Hope Road, Gastonia. Online at facetfoundryjewelry.com. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Come in now and save up to $1,200 on select GE Profile appliance packages, refrigerators, dishwashers, ranges, and microwave ovens. Let Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center put a package together for you. Again, save up to $1,200 on select GE Profile appliance packages. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center. 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Soggy conditions will persist this weekend as periods of heavy rainfall will be possible. For today, expect highs in the low to mid 70s. Likely to see temperatures slightly warmer for tomorrow in the mid to upper 70s with additional rain chances throughout the day. We'll have to watch for a few pockets of heavy rainfall that could lead to periods of flash flooding across the area. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big Old Country Studios, it's 9:52.
Here's what's up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL, and The Boss, WOHS and WLON. The Gaston County Cooperative Extension Office will offer Cooking Smart with Fresh Herbs, June 10th through June 17th. For more information, call Linda Mingus with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Office. A summer art camp will be held at the Cleveland County Arts Council, July 27th at 10 a.m. For more details, call 704-484-2787. And that's What's Up, brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL, 1590 AM, 92.3 FM. The Boss, WOHS, 1390 AM and 101.5 FM. And WLON, 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Saturday Sports Talk, kicking things over in here. Trying to find the qualifying order there, Terry, for the...
I think I got it.
Hey.
It says see the qualifying order, and I click on it. It's not showing. Did you find it, Hunter?
I don't know. This one says Brad Keselowski.
Oh, did he? I thought I saw Kevin Harvick.
Well,
I'm easily wrong. Maybe
it has
once or
Kevin
twice a
Harvick as
year.
fourth. I don't know if this is right, though. It says it is Monster Energy.
Oh, they lead to final practice. There's where I saw Harvick.
Okay, yeah, he was the fastest in practice. Maybe they haven't qualified yet today. They'll do that today, Terry. Looking at the point standings, Kyle Busch in first, Joey Logano second, Elliott third, Keselowski fourth, Harvick fifth, Hamlin sixth, Truex Jr. seventh, Kurt eighth, Blaney ninth, Boyer 10th, Bowman 11th, Almirola 12th. Let's go see if we can find 7-time is down in 17th place. Manufacturers in the top 10. You have 2 Chevys, 3 Toyotas, and 5 Fords. Wins so far this year: Kyle Busch 4, Logano 1, Chase Elliott 1, Keselowski 3, Denny Hamlin 2, and Truex has been on a tear the last few weeks, Terry, with his winning ways here in the NASCAR.
Yeah, and I look back and I know that may win number, what was it, 55, I think, for Kyle Busch. And he's only 34 years old, y'all. If he just wins a minimum of 3 races a year over the next 10, that's going to put him at 85. I mean, he's going to end up being one of the top race car drivers of all time, and that's just winning 3. And he's going to already got 4 this year.
What's going to be interesting to me, Terry, is what happens to him when his manufacturer fails him. Like, look at Jimmy right now. Just all of a sudden, he was winning championships. And then they made a small change, and then he started winning about 3 races a year, like you were just talking about. If you go to the minimum, win 2 or 3 races, because he used to win 5 to 10, and then he dropped under 5. It was 3 to 5, and now they haven't won in a long time. And because most of these Chevys aren't winning, so
does the crew chief make a difference? Well, I mean, it did some.
Yes, and the crew chief a little bit, but also there's nobody doing good in the Camaros. Nobody's doing good since they've done this. The fact that Stuart Haas switched to Chevrolet tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, qualifying
about what was going on or what is going on with the Chevrolets, Terry, because Stuart has been a Chevy forever. So what I'm thinking or wondering, what happens in 5 years when he's 40 or something? And then all of a sudden, hey, we got another change to the car, and then the Toyota car is not doing no good anyway. Think about how much he blames his crew and everyone now when he don't win. What's happening when the car is acting? What's he gonna act like when the car is acting like Jimmy's car right now? All of a sudden, you just can't race no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Qualifying is today at 12 o'clock.
So there we go.
Saturday. That's why we don't have a qualifying lineups.
Well, it ain't happening. Doing something.
Not yet, man.
Not yet. It will happen in about 3 hours.
For all you folks coming out of Burns and Crest graduations, listening to the radio and around the area, head up to Lawndale today. Get some hot dogs, free hot dogs up there at the Mountain View Farm.
Hot dogs.
And congratulations.
Get you some hot dogs.
Congratulations to all of our seniors. I want to congratulate my niece, Gabby Mayu. She's the graduating day over at West Lincoln High School. She's actually was doing her schooling in the fall. So she's already started her working career. She's going to be working. I think she's going to be maybe a dental assistant, Terry, and is moving on from there. So all the graduates, and we had a broadcast of Crest and Burns down YouTube, and congratulate all of them. Hunter, you got anybody that you know graduating this weekend?
Most of the people I've known have already graduated.
Already old.
And speaking of graduation, I will throw this out there. We talk about Mitchem's Kitchen, Reagan Mitchem.
Yep.
Wayne Mitchell's daughter's graduating today, so congratulations to her. She's going on to North Carolina State.
He just wanted to get that in.
That's the only reason.
That's
it has nothing to do with the mission.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I apologize to Wayne and everyone else. Terry, that was
it's all for NC State.
A little shout out. Had nothing to do with you. It could have been anyone else in the school who would have shouted them out at that point.
Oh my gosh! Why did we let Terry in the building?
I don't know. He starts off good.
And then all of a sudden,
with the biscuits, he starts off with the biscuits.
Biscuits, and then after that, it goes downhill. Fast.
For Reagan, I did mention your name, young lady.
You did.
That's right.
Today is the LIT printing, or LIT printing, I guess it is, 250. Xfinity racing at 1 p.m. NASCAR on WCSL 1590 AM 92.3 FM. And tonight on WCSL, we've got an IndyCar race. I guess he spelled that for JP. It says in-day-car race for at 8 o'clock. 4 o'clock this afternoon. Braves at Marlins today, and that's on all 3 channels. So that's our sports broadcasting for today. Tomorrow we got Braves at Marlins at 1 o'clock, and then we got the Firekeepers Casino 400 at 1 o'clock as well on KTC. And then tomorrow evening, weather pending, we're supposed to have Legion Baseball, Lincoln County, at Cherryville. It's supposed to be on the broadcast, so we're going to have maybe
We'll see.
We will see.
See
See if our Milton and Danny's and our duck waiters out there for the for that game, but I don't think so. But after that, folks, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days of Braves baseball only, and then the next weekend we'll have Braves baseball. We don't have Legion baseball again until next Sunday, Lincoln County at Pineville. So no Legion baseball this week on any of our channels. Except maybe Sunday night, Lincoln and Cherryville. And now, Terry, if they move that to another day in the week, maybe it starts to clear up. That may we may end up with that back on the schedule again, folks. So stay tuned for that and the reschedules for that. Do we miss anything specific? Anything that you guys? I didn't have anything in my fun notes really. I've been so busy getting ready for the.
Go ahead and show your patriotism. The Women's World Cup has started, so go United States. They are the favored team, the number 1 favored team to win the World Cup. So go ahead, show your patriotism, wear your red, white, and blue all you can, and root for USA in the Women's World Cup.
When the last 4?
I think, yeah, we've been on a tear.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I might be wrong.
Listen.
You are a soccer guy.
I am. I went to a soccer game while I was out in Utah. I went to Real Salt Lake. There's not a professional team in North Carolina, so I am now a Salt Lake fan. It's one of those.
You got a shirt?
Well,
I do. I have a jersey.
You need to worry.
The Panthers may be bringing them, I bet they bring a new soccer team to Charlotte, Hunter. What do you think about that? I bet Tepper's trying to. He's wanting.
Is he trying to?
Oh yeah, Tepper's actually wanting to bring a soccer team.
I think that's a smart thing to do because we have 2 great soccer programs in college. We have the University of North Carolina's got a great soccer program. Actually, we have 3. Wake Forest is known for their soccer program. I've been to a couple of their camps growing up, and UNC Charlotte has a great soccer program as well. So I think that would be, soccer, a lot of people call it a communist sport as the one that's sitting here in the center. But it is one of the fastest growing sports in the United States as well, along with golf. So being able to see more professional teams come up, it's really nice, gives you something else to do here in North Carolina. So I don't know if they would bring it to Charlotte, though. Charlotte's getting kind of crowded if they were going to try and put it in a stadium unless they just played it at Bank of America Stadium.
Oh, that's what we're talking about, kinda. I think that was heck, why not? They only use it, 10 days out of 3.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
That's what I did.
That's what Atlanta does. They use the same stadium for their soccer team and their football team.
I don't understand why they wouldn't. Yeah, especially if Tepper owns it.
Yeah.
Am I not telling the truth, though? There's only 2 places that call soccer, and that's United States and Canada.
That is right. There's only two places. It's football.
Football Americano is your football.
Yeah, it's football in Spanish and football in Europe. Yeah.
So real quick, Terry, we had a caller. I do want to mention. I hope you didn't quit listening, but he wanted to let you know about the no trade clauses and the 8 teams. The reason they list those 8 teams like that is if one of those teams do want to trade for them, it's contract leverage. Is what he's saying. There's some type of way in there they're trying to get some contract leverage on that. If you understand what any of that means, but I'll just tell you.
And just one more thing, Terry. I hope you're ready for the Dallas Cowboys to continue to get beat in the NFC East by one Carson Wentz because he just got a contract extension.
A guy for a long-term contract is hurt every year now.
They just gave the backup quarterback $120 million.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go, kids. Shoot to be the backup.
Didn't they?
Shoot to be the backup.
$120 million for the backup quarterback. Now, what's fun?
Well, they need him.
Hunter, I'm just sitting there thinking.
Yeah.
This division
is Washington's for the taking.
Well, actually, in 2 years maybe.
Yeah, I'd love to say.
Y'all got to fire Gruden. Everything.
Oh, I don't like Jay Gruden at all.
Trent Williams asked for a trade because of the locker room situation.
Really?
Your left tackle just asked to get out of the
and he's good. He's our best offensive lineman.
So I was going to say, y'all
got to set out the whole year.
Yeah, he says he's done in Washington. Because they did something with his some type of medical thing, and they misdiagnosed him. Kind of
when we hired Jay Gruden, I didn't like to hire him because I said the only reason he got this job was because of his last name. It's because he's a Gruden. He didn't do anything in the Arena Football League. I mean, what is he going to do on the football field? He's had minor success, nothing major. He ships away Kirk Cousins, who was a marginally good enough quarterback to take you to the playoffs. So now he's up in Minnesota, where I think he'll have better success. I don't know. I'm not sold on Jay Gruden, but at the end of the day, there's not many people available on the coaching carousel where you're just like, hey, we're okay with getting rid of him because we have him on the back burner. We
think of it on the back end of it.
Yeah.
He's an offensive lineman. You didn't have none last year.
Well, I know we didn't have none last year, and not to mention he's a left tackle, the one that's going to protect our quarterbacks.
That's fine, buddy.
I don't.
Listen, if Haskins can play, you got a chance a couple years if you can get that.
That's what I'm saying. If Haskins can play, we've got a good opportunity because we've got good pieces around him. But I agree with your statement. I've said this for years. I'm not a Jay Gruden guy. I'm not. I'm a Skins fan. I'm not a Jay Gruden guy.
If you left tackle don't want nothing to do with it, that says a lot, don't it?
And see,
most left tackles are pretty grounded and like.
And see, this is the thing too. Is like for years we've always said Dan Snyder has been like the big problem for the Washington Redskins, the owner. Dan Snyder's the only one that wanted Dwayne Haskins. Gruden didn't want him. What? You act like you were going to win with Case Keenum on a year contract. You needed a quarterback of the future. Come on,
He's trying to get that number one pick, Hunter.
I know, because he wants to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what y'all are taking.
I think it's the race for Trevor Lawrence. Who can get there first?
Well, we got to be crap for 2 years. How are we going to do this?
Yeah, how are we going to do this correctly?
Right, next weekend, guys, we got the U.S. Open. Pebble Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Every commercial I see on TV is, you thought he was gone, and now he's back.
That's right.
He missed the cut by 17 strokes in the last tournament.
Phil Mickelson?
Tiger Woods. So, Pebble Beach is one of his good courses, so he might have a chance to play. But the other guys are pretty good too. Y'all know my feelings that all sports are fixed. And I 100% would bet anything I could that this year's Masters was the most fixed round of golf I've ever seen in my life. So
if Tiger Woods wins this coming week, you're going to say it's fixed again.
Well, I got to see what happens, Terry.
Okay.
Well, actually, yes. Before it starts, yes, it's fixed. But here,
okay.
And I explained that if you guys want to go back and watch why. It was totally obviously why. But before we went into the PGA, what did I say? He ain't making the cut. I said that before it even started. He didn't make the cut. The hard courses, the old guys, Terry. It ain't because I don't think Tiger's not even good. These old guys don't like this rough and when he goes to British Open, no more time. That was Tiger's best thing, was getting out of the rough, recovering, and it still is. He's really good at it. He's really good at it. But it takes a toll after 4 days when the old guys pounding out of that rough, and I just don't see them doing well in those situations to where a U.S. Open when it's just you can't land it on the green. How many shots did they hit? Remember, the Masters was soaking wet. How many shots did they hit that stayed on the green? And Tiger hit the backside of the green, it would stay.
and at the U.S. Open, British Open,
Yeah.
see ya, buddy. And I just don't. I there's just so much extra walking on that back and knee that I don't see the older guys winning at those tougher courses. Especially when these young guys can hit it as far as they can. Like Koepka. Are you really telling me a 4-year-old's going to go out at the British Open, just go out there and rip it with Koepka?
God, he's something. He's amazing. Mm-hmm. He is.
And did you see the Twitter post by Bubba Watson? Hunter.
Oh, the one where he's lifting.
Yes. Yeah, have you seen Bubba Watson's?
He said, look, kids, you don't have to lift heavy weights to be a Masters winning golfer or
Bubba's
something
sitting there
like
with
that.
a trainer, and he ain't no bigger than a baseball bat, and he's sitting there lifting like girls' weights, and in the background's Koepka just ripping off some
like
big
45, 50 pounds. It's just like
Bubba looks. And what's funny about it is Bubba can hit just as far as him.
Yeah, he can.
When you're that tall and swing that long, golf is made for taller folks. You got to see some of these golfers. There's not that many short ones out there. These guys, these long guys. Davis Love III was taller than I ever thought he was. And Vijay Singh, oh goodness. All right, that's that. I think we're wrapping it up. Got Braves this week. Anything else before I mention? I've been so busy with the with graduation this morning. I missed some of the show, so I want to make sure that we got everything
That's
covered.
all for me.
I do want to say congratulations to
all the seniors.
To all the seniors.
Yes.
I was going to skip over that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the North Lincoln Knights once again in the state championship. Jonathan Carpenter, I want to congratulate him just so much. To see him grow from, he was at his first job was at Bessemer. I was at Bessemer 1 year, and he was there. He was a trainer / civics teacher or something. I can't even remember the class he taught, but he was so good to all the kids and anybody who needed him and everything. Mm-hmm. And just to see him, Terry, and I told him, went down and gave him a hug after the game, told him congratulations. And I told him, if I could walk around Bessemer City 15 years ago, it's not 20 yet, 15 years ago, and told all the people in Bessemer that you're going to have more state championships than Mike Mahaffey, they would have told me I was the craziest person that's ever walked this earth. And you never know. And then in the year we lost, we beat the 1A and 2A state champions, and we got beat in the first round. And so you never know by matchups. They could have lost the first round this year.
That's true.
They easily lost that one. They lost 9-0 to West Lincoln. Could have lost game 3. So you never know where you just keep going, keep fighting, keep doing your thing. And now Jonathan Carpenter has a state championship, and May could have more with the youth that they have. And so I want to congratulate them. And just when you see someone you know and a friend that's for years and years, and they get through something and win a championship like that, it's good to see. Good just to see that all around, and just congratulations to them and all the folks up at North Lincoln. I know that means so much to them. And like Terry said, it's been a successful year for those guys.
Oh yeah.
They won a cup. They won the indoor and outdoor state championships, and I think. Cerusse, I think if I get it right, Mark Ludwig was going to kill me. Shot put. Yeah, I was right. Mark's going to kill me because if I say it wrong, was a shot put or discus winner.
Yep.
So congratulations to all of them. We got to go up to Mountain View Farms in Longdale, get your hot dogs today. Congratulations to all the seniors. Terry Reinhardt, Hunter Yancey, and I'm Kevin Hastings. I guess I got to run in there and hit a button, don't I?
Yeah.
I could do it from here, but I'm going to walk in there. Y'all say bye for 1 second.
Well, Terry.
Well, only thing I say one more time. The first annual Cow Pie Bingo, Saturday, June 22nd, 3 p.m. at Ike Sand Corral behind Cat's Car Superette. Tickets are $20. Get you one and see if you can win $1,000.
Man, I was hoping it wasn't going to be Cow Patty Bingo, but it was just in time for me to get back here to hit the commercial.
There you go. That's something to do.
With the Cow Patty Bingo before we go. All right, folks, I want to thank you and again. We'll be right back. We'll be back next week on KTCBroadcasting.com.